Did you know your refrigerator could be silently ruining your food every single day? Studies show that certain fresh foods lose up to 70% of their flavor compounds when stored at cold temperatures, and others undergo structural damage that makes them mealy, tasteless, or even nutritionally weaker. For seniors, this isn't just about taste. It's about health. If food becomes less appetizing, you may eat less, risking nutrient deficiencies and unintended weight loss. Worse yet, many of these fridge mistakes cost money, as spoiled or degraded foods are often thrown away. Imagine biting into a once juicy tomato that now tastes watery and bland, or peeling a banana only to find the skin blackened and unappealing. These aren't random accidents, they're direct results of cold damage. Today, I'll reveal the 7 foods you should never refrigerate, explain the science behind it, and show you simple ways to keep them fresher, longer, and healthier. Number 1. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are one of the most commonly misstored foods. Many people think popping them into the refrigerator keeps them fresh, but in reality, cold temperatures destroy what makes tomatoes special. When exposed to temperatures below 1-2 degrees Celsius, around 5-4 degrees Fahrenheit, tomatoes experience what scientists call chilling injury. This damages their cell membranes, causing the flesh to become mealy instead of firm and juicy. Even worse, refrigeration drastically reduces the activity of enzymes that produce volatile aroma, compounds the natural chemicals responsible for that rich, garden-fresh flavor. For seniors, this is particularly important. Tomatoes are a major source of lycopene and vitamin C, nutrients that support heart health, vision, and immunity. But when flavor and texture are lost, you may be less inclined to eat them, cutting off a vital nutritional source. So how should you store them? Keep whole tomatoes at room temperature, ideally between 20-5 degrees Celsius, away from direct sunlight. Place them stem side down on a clean towel to reduce moisture loss. Once they're fully ripe, you may briefly refrigerate them for a day or two if absolutely necessary, but always bring them back to room temperature before eating to restore some of their flavor. For seniors who enjoy fresh salads, sandwiches, or soups, this simple adjustment can transform the eating experience and help preserve the powerful antioxidants tomatoes naturally provide. Refrigeration robs tomatoes of both flavor and nutrition. Store them on the counter for the freshest results. Number 2. Bananas. Bananas are another fruit that suffers in the cold. At first glance, refrigeration seems harmless, but bananas are tropical fruits that evolved in warm environments. When placed in a refrigerator, the skin cells break down rapidly, leading to blackened or blotchy peels within 24-48 hours. This isn't just cosmetic. The cold interferes with natural ripening enzymes, causing uneven texture inside, and sometimes even altering the sweetness. Bananas contain potassium, fiber, and natural sugars that support heart health and provide quick energy for seniors. However, when bananas lose their appeal due to an unappetizing appearance, many are tossed out prematurely. This contributes to unnecessary food waste and makes it harder for seniors to include them in their diets. The correct way to store bananas is at room temperature. If you want a slow ripening, separate them from the bunch or place them in a breathable paper bag to control airflow. Once ripe, they can last longer by being sliced and frozen in airtight containers, perfect for smoothies or oatmeal. For seniors, bananas are an excellent way to manage digestion and blood pressure, but blackened skins or uneven ripening from refrigeration can discourage you from eating them regularly. By avoiding the fridge and instead freezing in portions when ripe, you preserve both their taste and nutritional benefits. Bananas belong on the counter, not in the fridge, unless you're freezing slices for later. Number 3. Bread. Few foods are as misunderstood as bread when it comes to storage. Many households keep their loaves in the fridge to prevent mold, but this is one of the worst mistakes. The refrigerator accelerates a process called starch retrogradation. At low temperatures, the starch molecules in bread recrystallize faster, leading to rapid staling. Instead of soft, fluffy slices, you're left with dry, crumbly bread that's unpleasant to eat. For seniors, this is more than an inconvenience. Hard bread can be difficult to chew, posing a challenge for those with dental issues or reduced saliva production. It may also discourage adequate fiber intake, which is essential for digestion and heart health. The better alternative is to store bread at room temperature in a breathable paper bag or a dedicated bread box for short-term use, 1-2 days. For longer storage, slice the bread, place it in an airtight freezer bag, and freeze it. When reheated in a toaster or oven, bread regains its texture and freshness, almost as if it were just baked. This approach prevents waste and ensures every slice remains edible and enjoyable. For seniors, it also offers convenience freeze bread in 2-slice packs, so you can defrost only what you need, keeping the rest perfectly preserved. Refrigeration makes bread stale faster. Freezing preserves freshness and makes it easier to enjoy bread safely and deliciously. Number 4. Honey. Honey is nature's preservative, and one of its most unique qualities is its ability to stay safe for years, sometimes even decades, without spoiling. Unfortunately, many people store honey in the fridge, thinking it will last longer. The opposite happens. Refrigeration accelerates crystallization, making honey thick, grainy, and difficult to pour or spread. This crystallization doesn't make honey unsafe, but it makes it inconvenient and less appealing to use. Seniors may struggle to dissolve hardened honey in tea or spread it on toast, leading to reduced consumption of this nutrient-rich food. Honey has antibacterial properties and antioxidants that support immune health, which can be especially valuable for older adults. The correct method is simple. Store honey in a tightly sealed jar at room temperature, in a cool, dark place such as a cupboard or pantry. If honey crystallizes over time, place the jar in a bowl of warm, not boiling water, and gently stir until it returns to its liquid form. Avoid refrigerating honey altogether, and remember it never truly expires if stored properly. For seniors looking for natural sweetness without processed sugar, keeping honey at room temperature ensures it remains easy to use and enjoyable in daily routines. Honey thrives at room temperature. Avoid the fridge to keep it smooth, spreadable, and beneficial. Number 5. Coffee beans, or grounds. Coffee is highly sensitive to air, moisture, and temperature changes. Storing it in the refrigerator is one of the fastest ways to ruin its flavor. The fridge introduces condensation, and coffee naturally absorbs odors from other foods. Within days, beans or grounds stored in a fridge can taste flat, musty, or even take on the smell of onions, garlic, or leftovers. This is particularly disappointing for seniors who rely on their morning coffee ritual. Coffee not only boosts alertness, but also provides antioxidants linked to reduced risks of type 2 diabetes and certain neurological conditions. Drinking stale or poorly stored coffee can rob you of both enjoyment and potential health benefits. The best method is to keep coffee in small batches inside an airtight, opaque container at room temperature in a cool, dry cupboard. For larger amounts, divide beans or grounds into portion bags and freeze them. Only take out what you'll use within a week, avoiding repeated thawing that damages flavor. This ensures that each brew tastes fresh, aromatic, and energizing. For seniors, it also simplifies preparation, less waste, and consistent quality in every cup. Never refrigerate coffee. Store small amounts in airtight containers at room temperature and freeze the rest in portions. Number 6. Basil. Fresh basil is another casualty of refrigeration. Unlike hardy herbs such as parsley or cilantro, basil is highly sensitive to cold. When stored in a refrigerator below about 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, its delicate leaves turn dark, wilt, and lose their signature aroma. The flavor compounds that make basil so fragrant and uplifting break down quickly in cold conditions. For seniors who enjoy cooking, this can ruin simple meals. Basil adds freshness to salads, soups, and pastas while providing vitamin K, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. But wilted blackened basil loses both appeal and potency. The proper way to store basil is similar to cut flowers. Trim the stems slightly, place them in a glass of water on the counter, and loosely cover with a breathable bag. Change the water every day or two to keep the leaves vibrant. If you need longer storage, consider blending basil with olive oil and freezing it in small cubes for later use. For seniors, this method ensures you always have flavorful basil on hand without waste, making meals more enjoyable and nutritious. Basil belongs on the counter in water, not in the fridge. Cold destroys its leaves and flavor. Number 7. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are nutrient-dense powerhouses, rich in fiber, beta-carotene, and potassium. However, refrigeration causes them serious harm. Temperatures below about 12 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Fahrenheit, trigger chilling injury, leading to hard internal cores, discoloration, and an unpleasant taste after cooking. The starches inside convert abnormally, altering texture and sweetness. For seniors, this can mean an unappetizing meal that discourages eating a vegetable vital for eye health, immunity, and digestive support. The correct storage method is to keep sweet potatoes in a cool, dark, well-ventilated space, such as a pantry or cupboard, at around 15-18 degrees Celsius, 59.6, 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid washing them until use, as excess moisture encourages mold and spoilage. If you've cooked sweet potatoes, those leftovers must go in the fridge to prevent bacterial growth, but raw sweet potatoes should never be refrigerated. Another tip for seniors is to bake extra sweet potatoes and freeze the cooked portions. This makes it easy to reheat individual servings for quick, healthy meals without waste. Refrigeration ruins raw sweet potatoes. Store them in a cool, dry pantry and only refrigerate after cooking. Your refrigerator is a powerful tool, but it's not the right place for everything. By keeping tomatoes, bananas, bread, honey, coffee, basil, and sweet potatoes out of the fridge, you preserve their flavor, texture, and nutritional benefits. For seniors, this isn't just about food science. It's about making every meal more enjoyable, reducing waste, and protecting your health. The next time you reach for the fridge, think twice before storing these 7 foods. Small changes in storage habits can make a big difference in how fresh and nourishing your meals feel. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. Leave a comment with which food you'll move out of the fridge today, and subscribe for more senior-focused health and nutrition tips.